Did you ever ask yourself why some creators blow up with their short form videos while others put in a lot of effort, maybe even you, and still crickets? Now, I'm sure you've heard all these gurus speak about nailing the 3-second hook and optimizing retention and stuff like that, but how does that actually look in real life with a real world example? Well, guess what? I took one of your videos, from a Dominator, get it? Because my name's Dominic. No. And I made sort of a boring video, not so boring anymore, just in the editing process, because most of it can actually be tweaked in the editing and it's nothing you can't do, right? So follow along, implement what you see right here, and get your Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube shorts to eventually do this or this as well. All these screenshots are from my creator mentorship students who are crushing it right now, and they're actually doing exactly what I'm about to show you. Let's get into it. This is Timmy, and he's actually on a journey to get in the best shape of his life before he turns 30. And just that in itself is the story right here, and that's what makes people emotionally attached. But that's about it, because, let's just watch the video. It's 40 seconds long, so kind of on the long side if you don't know what you do. But let's watch it first, and then we're off to the Wild West.
Come with me on a run in Scotland. If you don't know me, my name's Timmy and I'm on a journey to get in the best shape of my life before I turn 30. Currently 28, so I'm trying to run as much as possible. Did a few stretches with the do-rag, took it off because I thought I'd look weird in Scotland. Not a lot of black people. Ran. The views are actually completely insane. It was such a nice, refreshing break getting out of London and just being outside in the open air, in the sun.
So right around here, if even I were to watch until here, which probably would not happen because the hook, we're going to get into it. But right around here is when I kind of noticed that the air is kind of out, done.
Seeing warm, seeing water, a little bit of parkour on these rocks, and just nice. I actually just stopped as much as I wanted to take in the views and actually appreciate where I was and just to calm down and reflect. I've been having a stressful few months, and so it was really nice to just be pensive, look out into the water and relax. So it was a lovely run. I recommend doing it. And by it, I mean stopping whenever you want to on a run, taking the views and appreciate them.
So there is, I feel like the second half of the video is very, very boring, and there's not a lot happening. There's not a lot in terms of that propels the narrative going forward. Now, what is the narrative here? It's him wanting to, there's actually two narratives. It's him having his challenge, trying to get into the best shape of his life before he turns 30. And second of all, he's going on a run in Scotland and having some time for self-reflection. So basically an A and a B story, which is kind of cool and kind of challenging. Now, first of all, I have to say I'm not at all a fan of these Instagram generated captions for reels. For stories, they're okay, but for reels, I don't really see any of them in the top performing videos. So don't have them at all, or have your own captions, but get rid of these. Now, unfortunately, we can't do it here. We can't do anything, but let's start with the hook. Come with me on a run in Scotland.
Come with me on a run in Scotland.
Kind of okay, but where's the information gap? Why do I want to come with you on a run in Scotland? And it's just a picture of, it could be you in your underwear at home. Weird, if you know what I mean. So if you talk about this, come with me on a run in Scotland. Think about your target audience. It's probably also people who want to get in better shape, or who enjoy running in the countryside, or who are interested in running, doing outdoor stuff in Scotland, enjoying the views, like you say a little later. But you need to express that right there and then. So
come with me on a run in Scotland. If you don't know me, my name's Timmy and I'm on a journey to get in the best shape of my life before I turn 30. Currently 28, so I'm trying to run as much as possible.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to quickly edit a sort of narrative. I'll cut it down a little bit, condense it down a little bit, and then we'll go for the B-roll. And I already have some ideas in my head that hopefully will work good. Well, talking about AI and stuff. Yeah, so here's what I actually did in this whole process. First of all, I condensed the whole raw script down to the core basics so that it follows somewhat of a cohesive line. I took out quite a bit of fluff and rambling, unnecessary information, if you will. So the first thing I want you to ask yourself, is your full script, everything that you say, really necessary, or can you cut some things? Sometimes you can actually cut 70% and it still makes sense. So that's what I did right here. Okay, so the first thing I see here after editing out quite a bit of it is that the visuals don't really match up. Like I said, the hook is off. Some things are cool, but for example, here you say, for example, also when you say here, not a lot of black people, would be funny to kind of find a picture where you just see a lot of just the whole group, a million white people on the streets or something like that. Obviously, you don't have to, but
not a lot of black people. The views are actually
Also, the views are actually completely insane. They don't really come across as completely insane in this video. Probably were in real life. I'm sure they were. But also here, like the
insane. It
duck,
was such a nice,
you know, it's kind of,
refreshing break getting out
could be in England too, right? An hour outside of London or
of
something like
London,
that.
just being outside in the open air, in the sun, being warm, seeing water, a little bit of parkour on these rocks. I've been having a stressful few months, and so it was really nice to just actually just look at it.
Okay, so first of all, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take a look at your profile and try to find some other videos. Okay, so I actually found one video that kind of explains this a little bit more, that you want to get in the best shape of your life before you turn 30.
Come with me on a run in Scotland. If you don't know me, my name's Timmy, and I'm on a journey to get in the best shape of my life.
Can we find a shot of London, of England? And I'm not saying you should do that and steal other people's videos, but right now, unfortunately, I don't have any of your footage. Okay, we're gonna take this video. Let's just try to leave it in, and then at the end we'll decide whether or not to use it.
Not a lot of black people.
Let's see what you have here.
The views.
So the views are actually completely insane. I'm afraid we're gonna have to change that because they don't really do a lot.
Actually completely insane. It was such a nice, refreshing break getting out of London and just being out.
The best thing would be if you were to film yourself running somewhere, set up the shot, and have yourself run with some nice background. I have some thoughts already. We're gonna try to fix that a little bit, at least at the beginning and the end. I just found another one from Edinburgh in this case. You know, it's just the first thing I could come up with, just to have a little bit more of a visual representation of what you actually say.
Scotland, not a lot of black people. The views are actually completely insane. It was such a nice, refreshing break getting out of London and just being outside in the.
It's actually cool that there's at least half of a second a dude running.
And just being outside in the open air, in the sun, being warm.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. This is the only shot we have of you kind of being somewhere. So we're actually gonna, first of all, copy it over to sort of be your first shot right
So
here.
relax. Come with me on a run in Scotland.
Let's actually make you stretch.
Come with me on a run in Scotland. If you don't know me, my name's Timmy.
Oh, already way better. But here's what we're gonna do now, my friends. We're gonna make this even cooler using
Come with
AI.
me on a run.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna export this picture and import it to Photoshop. Okay, and we're just gonna try to make some amazing looking castle up there. First of all, we're just gonna delete this just because we can. Actually looks pretty good. But what I want to do right now is, let's see where he, right now he doesn't really move too much. So we basically have the whole space for ourselves to create an amazing Scotland Highland castle. Something like this. Beautiful. I mean, first one actually looks pretty cool. I just want to just because I just want to see if there's just another. Let's make it even crazier. Let's say Harry Potter castle. That's all I can come up with. Harry Potter castle. Let's make it more medieval castle. Well, I don't think it makes it better. Well, this kind of looks cool. In this case, we can just do like an actual continent wear fill. Beautiful. Can you believe it? Okay. So basically what we're gonna do now is, well, we're just gonna export this. And now let's watch the magic happen, my friends. I'll put this here. And essentially the easiest trick in the book. We take a mask, invert the mask, play around with the feather a little bit, and then I would say also just with the highlights, see the clouds, and probably there'll be an issue with the clouds.
Come with me on a run in Scotland.
But look at this amazing thing.
Come with me on a run in Scotland. If you don't know me, my name's Timmy, and I'm on a journey to get in the best shape of my life before I turn 30. Currently 28, so I'm trying to run as much as possible. Did a few stretches.
Okay, so you say currently 28.
Currently 28, so I'm trying to run as much as possible.
So I would put in just a little bit of stakes in terms of the storytelling aspect. How many days are left? 690 days left. Who knows if that's actually... Who knows? But just to raise the stakes just a little bit, just to have it look a little more organic. I don't even know what font that is. Don't use a font like this, by the way. It's probably a little bit too much up. So at the end, we're just gonna bring it back somewhere here where the cut is. So we're just gonna have him walk here, and we will have him basically just a little bit closer here. Maybe it's a little too much, but just so we have a little bit of a different
Also
shot.
relaxed. So it was a lovely run. I recommend doing it.
Okay, and then we kind of want to make just a change at the end to kind of make people aware, whoa, this was all fake. So we're gonna make a transition, fast paint or something. It kind of is even fitting to kind of, and by it I mean stopping whenever you want on a run and taking in the views and appreciate them. So, you know, it's even beautiful even if the castle is not really there. So let's take a look at it. Have to say it was kind of hard given the material that we had on hand, but I think it turned out fine.
Come with me on a run in Scotland again.
Oh, one thing we still need to do is to put some sort of text hook in there. So we kind of need to have the challenge aspect in the beginning somewhere, because that sets stakes, that kind of has an emotional hook point, as we said before. Or in another video, depends. Usually it's 30 days challenge, something like that, where you can kind of show, if you say 690 days left, 690 days left, kind of the stakes are not as high as they should be. So, okay, challenge, get in shape before it turned 30. Challenge, get in shape before it turned 30. It's not the best hook, to be honest. I'm still thinking whether I could come up with something off the fly right now. Probably to kind of raise the stakes a little more. I need to get in shape before it turned 30. Probably too long. Get in. Need to get in shape before. Is it shorter? No. Just before 30. Something like that. Sometimes it doesn't even have to make too much sense and, you know, shape before 30. Why? But this just sort of another pattern interrupt. The 30, the number itself, and then the year. I think in this case, it might work pretty well.
Come with me on a run in Scotland. If you don't know me, my name's Timmy and I'm on a journey to get in the best shape of my life before I turn 30. Currently 28, so I'm trying to run as much as possible. Did a few stretches with the do-rag, took it off because I thought I'd look weird in Scotland. Not a lot of black people. The views are actually completely insane. It was such a nice, refreshing break getting out of London and just being outside in the open air, in the sun, being warm, seeing water, a little bit of parkour on these rocks. I've been having a stressful few months, and so it was really nice to just look out into the water and relax. So it was a lovely run. I recommend doing it. And by it, I mean stopping whenever you want to on a run, taking the views and appreciate them.
Beautiful. Now, if you enjoy hands-on content breakdowns like these with real-world examples, here's actually a full playlist you can take a look at to, first of all, practically see what's important, and then also to see how to implement all of that theoretical crap.